How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Blackrock did it again. They did it again. They bought a significant amount of Bitcoin. You might be asking, well, why is the price going down? Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why the price is down slightly from yesterday. We'll talk about BlackRock and other ETFs. We'll also talk about what's happening behind the scenes politically with crypto, because there was some more news on that and maybe some more leaks, some information that isn't quite super obvious that we should probably talk about. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Also, there is a link underneath the video in case you want to start trading on Margex, right? You can start trading and you can use all different forms of collateral. We've been seeing a lot of people sign up recently because they're doing this massive BOEM airdrop. Basically, the more you trade, the more BOEM you get, this Book of Meme token. They're going to give you up to $5,000 worth of Book of Meme token, literally just airdropped into your account, depending on how much you trade. So it starts with a smaller amount, and then you can get all the way up to $5,000 worth if you start depositing with the link underneath the video. And you can use all forms of collateral. You can use USDC, you can use Cash, but you can use Bitcoin, you can use Ethereum, you can use USDT. You can deposit all different kinds of crypto and use them as collateral on all different charts. So if you have a big bag of, let's say, XRP, but you wanted to trade the Bitcoin chart, you could use XRP as a collateral. You gain in XRP, but you trade Bitcoin. Okay? Link underneath the video. As you can see, Bitcoin got rejected again, right around the $72,000 mark, right around this trend line. Now we're towards the bottom of the trend line. Okay, this trend line is really interesting. You can see how far I've zoomed out. Now, some people just have the trend line stopping like right here a couple weeks ago. But if you look back, like this trend line has been pretty prevalent. If you look here, we got rejected here. We flipped it into support, then rejected here, then support again. So it'll be interesting to watch it. But I still expect a big move here soon. We continue to see ETFs buy a significant amount. You can see yesterday, a little bit more of a quiet day, but BlackRock bought $170 million worth of Bitcoin. Fidelity had a 0 day, looks like. ARC21 shares had 7 million. Bitwise had 8 million out. Grayscale had a dump of 36 million. So not the best day, not the worst day. But overall, a net of $132 million worth of Bitcoin was bought, which is 4 times the daily supply, a little bit more than 4 times the daily supply. Now, why is the price not going up? That's a question everyone keeps on having. Well, obviously, someone is selling. There are people selling. And also, we saw a good amount of long liquidations yesterday. Okay, we had 250, maybe 300 million worth of longs being liquidated in an hour. So that forced down the price of Bitcoin. Not exactly what you want to see, but we're only down a couple $1,000s, right? Just like Monday alone, we can move right back up to this line. So I am taking a long-term approach. I'm not being worried at this little shakeout in the market. It does seem like a bit of a shakeout, like, people are trying to cause long liquidations, trying to stop loss hunt. As you can see here, IBIT continues to buy more Bitcoin. This is the flippening between BlackRock and GBTC. For the longest time, GBTC had a lot more Bitcoin up until about week 20. They had more Bitcoin than BlackRock, but then week 20 happened, they flipped, and now you can see BlackRock has about 20,000 Bitcoin more, 20,500 Bitcoin more than GBTC. So they flipped, they own significantly more Bitcoin. They continue to accumulate, and they bought a lot of Bitcoin this last week. They bought about 13,000 Bitcoin alone, just IBIT. Now, how much is that? Well, let me do the math here for you. 13,000 Bitcoin at 70,000 Bitcoin per $70,000 per Bitcoin. That's about $910 million of inflows this week. Okay. So they are buying like mad. They're causing a lot of people to get into crypto or to increase their crypto positions. I know that the price isn't moving, isn't moving up necessarily past all-time highs, but I still think this is extremely bullish. And usually we only move up a couple percent after the halving anyways, and we're up about 10% since the halving. So this is pretty on par with what we've seen in previous cycles. I would expect us to make a big move this cycle still. Just you have to have patience. Donald Trump pitched himself as the crypto president at a San Francisco tech fundraiser. Interesting. I mean, I'm sure he's talking to his audience there a little bit in San Francisco, it being a very tech-forward area. But it's really interesting to see the change in the political environment around crypto recently. Donald Trump literally using this as part of his campaign to get donations, to get votes. And as we've said before, you don't really gain votes by being against crypto. You could definitely lose votes, though, by not being pro-crypto. Okay? Like, there are enough people that own crypto that want to do well that you're going to lose votes if you are against crypto, if you're trying to regulate it too much. Okay? Also, Jason Lowry says, I can confirm that I have been reached out to by folks with from Trump's campaign administration about you know what. I told them I'm ready and willing to move to DC if called upon. Interesting. So if you don't know Jason Lowry, he created a book that was basically talking about using Bitcoin as a national defense. Okay, so he has quite the backstory where he got called to take it down by the government. He was in, the Space Force at the time. So he went to MIT, went to the Space Force, did this whole thesis on using Bitcoin as a national defense, or in our national defense, and then the government basically asked him to take it down. And he said, all is good, but I'm going to take it down. Sounds kind of weird that someone would, and he sounded like happy about it. I'm guessing, just spitballing here, the government said, we're working on that. Can you take it down so you don't give the playbook to other countries? So he's happy. He probably got paid by the government to take it down. Okay, so adoption continues to move forward. He takes it down, probably gets even more famous from taking it down. Kind of goes dark for a while. But now he's confirming that the Trump administration is basically talking to him about using Bitcoin as a national defense. Maybe they're just blowing smoke at us to try to get more votes and they won't ever do anything with it. Trump has gone like pro-crypto, then against crypto, then pro-crypto again. So we'll have to watch what happens here. But imagine that. Imagine if Trump said, and he's talked about Bitcoin before, buying Bitcoin as a nation. But imagine he said, yeah, we're going to go buy $10 billion a month or something of Bitcoin. Kind of interesting. Or $1 billion, right? That would send up the price significantly. And Jason Lowry is basically saying, hey, we may be doing that. Again, maybe it's not real. Maybe it is. Now, turning our attention to meme coins for a second. FJB, I've talked about it a couple times. It's doing extremely well. This is a meme coin on Solana talking about basically F Joe Biden. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you hate Trump or you love Trump, we can probably agree that you don't like JB. You don't like Joe Biden. So they have this meme contest ahead of the U.S. presidential debate. Unleash your creativity, create the funniest, wittiest FJB meme, and stand a chance to win $500. Contest runs for 7 days starting today. And then they give ways that you can enter. They also just announced they're going to be multi-chain once they hit 10 million in market cap. Now, we don't know what chain, but I've heard behind the scenes it's going to be a good one. This is going to cause some excitement. Again, if you want to buy it, I do hold a bit of the token. Just full disclosure, I do hold some of the token, so I do have a vested interest in it doing well. And they're also giving away stuff. So it went up to 10K by simply holding an FJB NFT. Check out the NFT collection here. So if you want, you can go check them out. I'll leave a link to their Twitter underneath the page or underneath the video. There you can find like where they trade. You can just go over to the link tree. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video though. Let me know if you are bullish on Bitcoin here or if you're getting a little bit annoyed. I think, there's some people that are annoyed, but for the most part, it's just a time that you can dollar cost average before we move up. Like, if you're still in accumulation mode, would you rather have us move up to 80 and then you buy at 80? Or would you rather have us stay at 69,000? Like, do you need to feel like you had the right investment? And the only way that you can feel that way is if we move up. Okay. Or can you just be happy accumulating here? Like, do you need the validation of price moving up? That's kind of my thought process. And even if you're like, well, I'm not in accumulation mode, I still think there's money to be made here, either from longs, right? Or, it just moves us up higher when we eventually do break out because we're trending sideways for a while. It's cooled off. RSI is lower. Even if you just look at the people that have been, buying throughout the entire bear market, but they look at indicators for when we've hit like a blow off top, and that's when they start taking profit, is once RSI hits a certain number or social risk hits a certain number, that kind of stuff. It's lowering because there are less people tuning in. It's also lowering, those risk metrics are lowering because we've gone sideways for months. So either way, unless you're looking to sell right now, I think it's a good thing that we're trending sideways for a while. Let me know your thoughts though. Thank you so much. Again, you can check out the link to Margex and FJB. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.